Hey everyone, it's Dr. LaTracy, and I am here with the amazing Imani K Brown, and I wanted to introduce her to the world. Uh, Being in the Black Authors Rock community, we have over 2,600 individuals that are there, and many have written books, and many have not, but are just gleaning from others. And so Imani has done her introduction, and yet has been a little quiet. So this is like the coming out, the Diana Ross, let's make it happen. And so I am all about, spotlighting and showing off and just getting to know the people for where they are because us as writers, we are some different kind of people. And so I love it. And so I wanted to have this opportunity. So I thank you so much for joining me for this author spotlight and tell the people who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I sound so nervous right there. Hi. My name is Imani K Brown. I am a tattoo artist, illustrator, and now a self-published author. As a tattoo artist, I do tattoo styling, is what I call it. So I make custom pieces bespoke to each individual person. Most of the time, I help people through what we call tattoo therapy. So people who are grieving, people who are self-harming, things like that, and help them turn their stories into unique artwork that turns their struggles into triumph. So that's what I do. I love working with people when it comes to art and body parts and all that good stuff. So that's me.
Yay. And where are you located?
I'm located in Washington, D.C.
And I am going to shift this entire interview to one a little different than where I normally go because I want to have some fun with it.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So, as artists, especially a Black artist, whether it is tattoo or written or vocal or whatever, we all have our own eclectic style, such as myself in red hair. I wanted to ask what created your style?
So my style is a mashup of DC street style from like the 80s and then also Japanese street style. Um, so I mashed them up. It's what I call moody fashion in terms of being able to just have something that's uplifting, something that if I go throughout my day with mental illness and such, like sometimes it just gets hard to function. So having a style that just kind of reminds me, just kind of help uplifts me. So if I can't uplift myself from within, then I have things around or fun things to look at and just kind of I reimagine the things that I don't like about myself, if that makes sense. So the same way I help other people with tattoos reimagine and reconnect with their bodies in ways that will help them have a healthier space with themselves. I do the same with my own fashion. So I just call it moody fashion, but it's definitely styles within Japanese street fashion or kawaii culture. Kawaii means cute. And just traditional, like what I grew up with in terms of DC street fashion. So mixing those two is what you get.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to spin this a little bit, like I said. So let me read a little bit of Amani's intro.
Let's go. No.
Okay, Amani, pronounce your entire first name, and then I'll go on to the next part.
Well, you just pronounced my entire first name. It's Imani. You mean
No,
my
no, no,
whole name? My whole name?
the whole name, because I don't want to slaughter it, because there's a reason behind it.
Imani Kaumba Nia Raha Brown.
Okay, y'all caught that. Okay, so it's Swahili, right?
Yes.
So, and in her intro, it says, "Don't get it twisted."
Don't. Mm-mm.
In her bio, but you just heard all about the DC fashion and Japanese. Okay, all right. So it says, behind every great child is an astonished parent. Cory Booker's mom. Then it says, some of this may be incorrect because my parents are Black American. They didn't speak the language. I'm learning it now. But they wanted to attach me to something that was meaningful. My name was to be something to grow into. So they named me as they understood the words. So please understand that. They gave me superpowers in my name. Their faith, but a 2.0 version of it. All the guts and glory they never had. Creativity, but I pushed the envelope. Purpose makes me determined to make an impact. When you include the hyphenation, creative, purpose, inspired, and help my community find their creative voice too. Listen, all of that, all of that. I said it because these are her words. Okay, you see how she's responding? I did that on purpose because a lot of times, us as creative beings can write, but we hide behind it, or we can tattoo and we hide behind it, or we have this crazy funky hair, or crazy funky style, or anything like that, and yet we hide behind it. Are you getting emotional?
I am.
Okay,
Stop.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Fine. It's fine.
Follow me.
It's good
Listen,
emotion. Like
I
it's
just allow I just allow the energy to go where we're going.
let's
So I'm
go.
going to read this next part really quick. And it says, and happiness wills me the power to craft the life I will love. I come from a single family home, but both of my parents love me to bits despite any of their own unhappiness and poor life decisions. And yeah, I said it because it is what it is. This is an excerpt from her book, Shoppe Gal, the memoir, embracing hope, happiness, and happenstance. I did that purposely because if your own excerpt from your book can make you get emotional, that means that people need to read it. People need to know you because people can relate to being in a single family home and their parents in their own dysfunction function in a way to love you in their own way, and tears are healing. And no, I did not get on this interview to make you cry. I truly didn't.
No.
I need you to know from one sister friend to the next, I have never intended to make you cry. And yet, for those who are watching, I've never met this sister before today. We've seen each other on social media, but we've never interacted.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is different for me is because she's not one of my clients. She is a community member. She's like, I'm not? No, she's not one of my clients. And so, how did she get through the cracks of getting an interview? I don't know. But I believe that everything happens on purpose and it's destined. So your bio, your intro, your introduction to the world of who you are, even though you hid behind the screen, you stood in front of people and you told your story as well as you wrote your story. And you are not only promoting who you are behind the arts through your tears, through your words, through your ink. The world needs to know who Miss Imani K Brown is.
Hi, world.
They will. So this is no longer the time for you to hide. Do it through your tears. Do it through your artistic, eclectic style. Do it for you because you are creating the life that you love, and no one else can determine that.
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Now,
Um,
eyes are just, I call it peeing. Like my eyes are peeing because once I start crying, like they won't stop. So it's not even like the emotion part is like, whew, okay, we can breathe. My eyes are still like, but no. So just know that I'm with you. My eyes are just doing the things that they're doing. I can't, it is what it is.
My grandmother used to say all the time when the kids were little, she used to say, the more they cry, the less they pee. And I'm like, grandparents can say some things, I promise. Um, they can say some
Yeah.
things too. But I'm like, huh? What? But it makes some sense later on. So neither here nor there.
Oh man.
You touched on a couple different things that I wanted to expound on before we go more in depth into your book.
Okay.
You said your moody uh, attire,
Mhm.
uh, and you also mentioned mental health.
Mhm.
A lot of people, especially Black people, do not mention mental health nor how they handle it.
Mhm.
It is surprising that you're bold, yet you want to hide behind who Imani K Brown is. Why is that?
It's boundaries. So it's not, it is hiding, but it's more so safe engagement. So yes, mental health is a thing, but also I'm an introvert. So I want to be outgoing, but I want to be outgoing with people and energies that I find to be safe, which means that I might need some time to actually feel things out. I can use my style to create those boundaries where I can still look out and feel things out before I actually engage, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's not that I'm trying to hide necessarily, more than one, I just really enjoy the styles. I love them. Um, and then two is literally just how I'm able to engage with the world as a highly sensitive person or empath. A lot of times people will want to come up, people will want to talk, things like that. I have no problem with that, except I don't like strangers. So I have to put things in a container where things don't seem so strange to me. And then that way, what people need from me, they can actually get. Other than that, if it's not in a particular container, you can catch the wrong Imani. It's like
Mm-hmm.
six of us up there. So
Mm-hmm.
catch the wrong Imani, and then I haven't done what I'm supposed to do in terms of being of service to community in any particular way. Not only that, but also just walking down the street as a Black person dressed like this makes other Black people feel good, whether we actually speak or not. And that is like something that is literally like to my heart. Like I'll see brothers even like, you look cute today, sis. And they, mask on, but you could tell that she's in it. I'm like, yes, yes, we need to smile more. We need to have more fun with each other and just remind each other that we're here to take care of each other. So even me dressing like this for my own personal is still something that I know is healing for, for other Black people as I just walk down the street. So just that very existence alone while I'm filling out things is still a service in a way that still feeds my soul and it makes me feel happy. So I just continue to do it. But yeah,
I
I'm not
love it.
trying to hide. It just so happens that, I still like to be safe.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with being safe, especially the way that the world is right now. Yes, yes,
What?
I get
What?
it. You mentioned superpowers. I have an 8-year-old who recently wrote a book, and she didn't want to write the book. I actually made her because she didn't want to read, you know.
Yeah.
But in making her write the book, it built her confidence,
Mhm.
and she also has superpowers.
Mhm.
And so, in you know, being a teacher both naturally and spiritually, I tell people, well, my child has superpowers. She's not going to deal with everyone. She's not going to embrace everyone. It's all about the energy. It's all about what you put out there. And if what you're putting out there is not necessarily what she's feeling today, you may get another side, even though she's 8. And as her mother, I'm going to cover her.
Yeah.
So, yes, you may see this professional Dr. LaTracy, but don't show mine. And so, when you got on the screen for the interview, the first thing I said was, that's my baby as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how she dresses. She
Mm-hmm.
will get the clips with the different color hair in it, and the clips with the braids, and her hair is straight on one side, or she'll have, I say, her Punky Brewster look. Back in the days when we were growing up, it was Punky Brewster, and so she'll wear the eclectic, different colors all in her sweater, and there'll be big blocks, and then the outfits she'll have on are circles, and I'm just like, huh, that's just so many different colors. And then she'll have on some different color socks and some Crocs or something. And she's in her best self, and she'll just say, "Mom, I'm just ready to go." And I'm like, "Can you put something else on? I know I bought you something that matches, solid,
Why
or
is
even
she but I'm
colorful."
feeling this.
And she's like, "But I'm feeling this, and I'm good." And so I had to stop, um, fighting her on her creativity, because
Mhm.
I mean, I know I have red hair, so I have to embrace who she is and how she rolls, and those things, because even with her being her way, I also have a 17-year-old who dresses like Freddie from the different world, with the locks and the
Oh my
all the bohemian something, one day no bra, free. I get it. And then I had to think about it, and I was like, society says it's one thing,
God.
and yet we are the ones we've been waiting for. So you came out with that same idea, that same story, and you wrote your memoir.
Mhm.
And I am going to, no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and put the link on the bottom. And I want you to tell the people why, yes, I'm good for that. Why
Oh,
you wrote your memoir, and um, the story behind it.
you froze.
No, I'm here. I hear you. We're still live.
Dr. LaTracy.
You're still here. See, you're still here. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh, she went out for a second. All right, she'll be right back. So there you go.
Okay, there we go. I was like, what happened?
Okay, tell the people about your memoir.
So, my memoir is a combination of things. It is legacy building and being able to leave something of me behind in terms of a roadmap for other Black creative femmes. It is also uh, a way for me to look at things that I've done. What I learned in writing this memoir is that I never actually stopped to celebrate small wins and to see like how I moved from one place to the next. This memoir is all about how I was actually just surviving. Um, and then the third is I was grieving my dad and I needed to write a love letter of why I would be okay and what makes this okay that I would be okay in this entrepreneurship space. When he passed, it was only a year after actually opening the doors to my studio. And he left me some things to think about. So I thought about them and then I wrote about them. So that's the three things that my memoir serves. It is literally about my journey of embracing tattoo and kawaii lifestyle as self-expressions and ways to have a healthier lifestyle, to actually craft the life that I love. Tattoo is the one thing that I decided to do to work for myself and to build a life that I love financially. Kawaii is something that lends me a hand in being able to be even more self-expressive, and being able to introduce something new, or reintroduce something that we've grown up with for a very, very long time, but just showing what the power of imagination can do in terms of being able to create the life that you love, being able to take care of each other without having to actually immediately engage. We don't have to know each other's names, but I can wear something cute and I can still take care of my brother and sister as I'm walking down the street just by giving them something to smile, not laugh at, but to literally smile about, to be happy about. So my book talks about all of those things and helps other people create a roadmap to their own idea of radical love. Specifically, again, as a girl, as a Black femme, then of course it speaks to Black femmes first. But the amazing thing is that guys have gotten it. I have graffiti writers who picked up the book, so it's something in there for everybody. I always say kawaii life isn't something that everybody would jam with, but there's something in kawaii for everyone to take away from. So that's Shoppe Gal. It's literally the title, embracing hope, happiness, and happenstance. So the things that I hoped for, and how I got them and how other people can get them. Life lessons from like my grandmother all the way up to my pack of wolves, which is my brothers. How I actually, the happenstance of becoming a tattoo artist and being slated as the second prominent Black female tattoo artist in U.S. history, being able to celebrate those amazing things and share them with other people while I'm actually building my own things, or continuing to build my own things, and hopefully people could take from those lessons and build their own amazing life as well. That's Shoppe Gal.
I did that purposely to remove myself from the screen. And for many of you who are just catching us, thank you so much for joining us on Black Authors Rock Author Spotlight with Miss Imani K Brown. I am honored to give you this spotlight because not only did you just say you were the second most prominent tattoo artist in the world, that right there speaks volumes. And a lot of people don't realize, hey, I'm a Black woman. I rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating the world that I love, and I don't need your validation to do so.
To do nothing.
Exactly. And so I want you to be honest and tell the people how much your memoir is being sold for, because it's a special edition right now.
Yes. So the special edition memoir is $75. It's amazing, because it actually shares my journey, but with art, not just the memoir. So the memoir alone is a piece of art. It was created as a piece of art, so you can have it as a trophy piece, literally on your bookshelf. I'm a visual communicator, so those things are important to me. What spines look like on the bookshelf is a thing. Like, that's a mood.
Yes, yes.
But aside from that, you get to meet a lot of the characters, or the main character, who will be coming out of this memoir. This memoir will be recreated as a manga, which is Japanese comic. So it will be more created in the style that I'm used to communicating in, both on and off skin. So you get to meet this character, Aquanetta, the ratchet magical girl. And she's important because she is me when I came into kawaii life as a tattoo artist, where she felt broken, all of those good things. So you get to actually meet her before the world does. Aside from that, there are lots of little treats in terms of art. So you get to know the artist behind the book, not just these are some pages to read. Good luck, go on about your life. I don't want that. I want to be able to connect with people, and I want people to be able to connect with me even beyond those pages. So that's what the limited edition is, and it's fun.
I love that. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm a teacher. So, as a Black author, a lot of people will tell you, hey, you have to price your book at this price or that price. I'm going to give you a little secret. Her book is not on Amazon. Her book is sold on her website.
Yep.
And anyone who prints a book that is full of color and that is as thick as her book is, it is worth what she's selling it for. And I gave that disclaimer because so many people would just hear the price and say, no.
Yeah.
But we
I
have to educate ourselves, and we have to be smart in how we not only market our books, but we also have to be smart on how we leave a legacy. Because if you were to say, I'm going to sell my book for $30 on Amazon, Amazon is going to take anywhere between 35 and 70% of your proceeds.
yes.
Not to mention, they are also not going to promote your book. It's
Yep.
going to be amongst the abyss of all the books that are on their site.
Ooh.
And
Oh.
no one's going to know who Imani K Brown is. So I give you all type of swagger, all type of congrats and support, because I know that you see the value in your work. And I, as an expert in the publishing industry, I will tell people, do you know how much you're selling your items for? Make sure you know, make sure you're selling it, from your own perspective, and know why you're doing it, and do it unapologetically. Because if no one buys your book at the price that you set it at, then you have to be okay with that,
Yeah.
um, and know how to market it. I mean, you're marketing it in the street, you're marketing it on your site, you're marketing it through your art and through just who you are as a person. And so, kudos. I appreciate you doing that, because it's not only teaching others in the industry of writers, but you are the example of being a Black author who rocks. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate that. The cosign, just the love. I love it. There's a saying that, and people who read the book will see it a lot, lead with your heart and let logic follow, which is literally, if you can't find anything wrong with it, if it just feels good, you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself, do it and just see where it lands you. We were talking about it before we went live, that COVID hit as soon as I did pre-order launch. Like literally, I had to close my studio, and it was like, what? I've learned so much on this book journey, and literally, I'm just like, I'll just whatever feels good. I'll be with my own advice, like so. Whatever feels good, that's what I'll do, and it's been a learning journey, and it's been a great learning journey. I love learning new things, so learning what this looks like, not just for myself but for other people, is really touching. Is the best way that I can put it. That it's really touching. So knowing that, just leading, I'm self-published. I didn't know what I was doing when I started actually putting those things into play. It was just, I like this. This feels good. This feels like me. So,
Right.
it just, just keep running with it. And, it's a slow grow for me right now, but it's a grow. I'm seeing results. I get to meet amazing people. I get to meet amazing co-signing people who are telling me whether I'm doing good or not. And, I know that if I were not, you would read me for filth, even if we didn't meet each other. You know what I mean? Like, just to know that those things are there, and
Mhm.
they hold so much value. So thank you so much.
You are welcome. Because I mean, I get it. I do. I mean, you don't want to necessarily be in the box that people want to put you in, and yet you're learning along the way. And no one had instructions when COVID hit, so it was like, what are we doing?
If I told you about the 3 weeks of anxiety and panic attacks that my boyfriend had to suffer with me, because he's never seen like the full blossom of my anxiety. I'm usually away in Japan when that happens. He saw like all of it. He was like, "This is what happens," and I was just like, "Yes, hi, hello." I just, and honestly, working through the book is what helped a lot. Like just soothing that anxiety. Just like I can't tattoo right now, but I can work on my book. My book is about tattoo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people did not realize that COVID made so many people step into their unique self.
Yes.
A lot of people were hiding behind social media, they were hiding behind their words, they were hiding behind their products, but you had no other choice but to do a Zoom, had no other choice but to go online and to be seen. And people are like, wait a minute, what? Huh?
Mhm.
And and a lot of people said, well, oh, I'm not doing my hair. Well, my baby was 7, and one of the things we were doing was science. I said, well, sweetie, what do you want to do? She was like, well, I want to paint. I want to play with paint. And I said, oh, okay. Well, figure out what combination you have to do so you can dye my hair. She was like, well,
Ah,
I
yes.
know, yeah, dye my hair. It's just hair. It'll come back. Whatever. I've lost it all before it came back. It comes back thicker. Whatever. Just dye it. And she's like, well, it's not as red as I want it. I said, well, keep trying, baby, until you get it the way you want it. I
Love
mean, so, I mean, it has really been a blessing. A lot of people are not looking at COVID as, a blessing. Yes, we've lost some amazing people. And, I've grieved a lot, but I've also dealt with a lot of the anxiety and the depression. And people didn't even want to talk about that. But if you survive 2020,
it. A. We're talking during what is Self Harm Awareness Month. This will be the first time as a self harmer that I've been like, this month is awesome. It's
right,
great. Like, and
right,
it's been great to talk about it. Like, just to be like, yeah, this is a thing,
yeah.
you
I
know?
have another author who wrote Suicide. It happens in Black families too. And she was like, I don't know if anybody's really going to accept the story. And I said, this is the reality, and we're in the middle of COVID. A lot of people are suffering in silence behind the closed doors, and people are not able to even go and see them and
Yeah.
experience the touch, you know, uh, embracing even just the touch. I mean, my kids, they before COVID, they would not even want hugs because they just weren't those type of people. They didn't want anybody touching them. Now
Yeah.
they're like, you stand still, I'll hug you. Don't touch me back. Like you.
Not the
But they're learning.
hug,
They're
bro.
learning. They're like,
That's me and my
you
best friend.
know,
Oh, she's a severe extrovert and she gets people high. I'm an introvert, so her people high scares me and makes me really, really small. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And we have like this middle ground right now where she's like, no, really, I really just need to like hug you and hold on. And I'm like, okay, you got 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, we got to be good with this. Like, we can come back maybe later, maybe, but we gotta weigh this out. And she's just like, that's fine, that's fine.
yeah,
Just
so,
seeing how people are even managing like some of those boundaries of like those new spaces of how to engage with each other and just be there for each other. It's so interesting.
me, I start spraying. Then I say, okay, just hold, keep your mask on. I just I need to. Mm-mm. I mean, I have been kissed on my cheek through a mask, and I'm just like, this is different. Hold on, but I get it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and still get that physical touch. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
but we have to be ourselves, and a lot of people were hiding behind what ourselves truly is before COVID, and so now, yeah. So I'm
Meanwhile,
excited.
cartwheels, and I'm like, this is how I've always coped. Yay!
Yeah. I'm like, this is it. We don't know how.
Yeah. So yeah. I will say
Well,
I dress up a lot more. So I've been challenging myself in terms of my own closet and just pushing those things. So that's been really fun.
oh yeah, I've been
Yeah.
wearing colors. Before COVID, it was like black, brown, white. Then I come out of COVID, red hair. They're like, wait, what? Okay. she had straight hair before COVID. Now she has natural hair. And then I went in the
Yeah.
beginning of COVID. I had a big, huge afro, and now they're like, wait a minute, she cut off the sides. Oh, and she has lines on the side. Oh, and she has colors on her nails. Yep, I'm going all the way
All
out.
of it. Do it all day.
Yes, I'm
I'm
just
here.
embrace.
I'm
Yeah,
here for it.
yeah. I mean, you've made me feel so much better when it comes down to my children and their eclectic style because at first I was like battling every day, month
No,
to month.
no. That you're what you're seeing is the stuff that we're actually, in my belief, what we're nurtured out of. Or yeah, what we're nurtured out of. So you're seeing kids in their best imagination. Like kids live in their imagination. So it's not going to make sense to us because we're adults. Society says that we're supposed to be this way because we've been nurtured out of that imagination
Right.
state. But imagination is the most powerful thing. Einstein says imagination is the preview of what's to come.
Yes.
So why not? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, please embrace it. Like they'll be amazing humans when they get older, just like you, and they'll be your 2.0. So
Yes. Ah, I'm telling you, the whole homeschool, everything. And then I had to think about it. I was like, I'm a writer. I'm very eclectic. And yet, why am I pressuring them to do school in a box, to do
Mhm.
it that way? So let me unschool and do it the way that we need to do it. So we're doing, everything the
For
same
y'all.
way,
Right.
just, different. I mean, my child will read an entire book if I put it on her phone. But if I gave her a book, she's like, oh my God,
I don't want that. I don't want
I don't
that.
want it. You got
Right.
this.
I'm
So
gonna,
it's
um,
just, you
I'm
have to
going to
learn.
send you the EPUB because they're colorful pages. I would like to see how they respond to them.
There you
They're
go.
really colorful pages. I made a whole fashion line out of the book pages. So.
I saw that on your website.
Yeah, like that's really the pages.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. I do. I love it. I love it. I love all of it.
Oh
Um,
man.
and you guys who are watching, I'm Dr. LaTracy with Black Authors Rock, and Imani has joined us today to discuss her book, Memoir Shoppe Gal. And I'm like, how did we even connect? I mean, you had to connect because I don't ever put my calendar link out for an interview, just willy nilly. So it had to be something. And I'm like, let me go back and remember. I don't remember. I didn't even go back and look. I just said, oh, okay, she's on the calendar. All right, well, okay. Let me
Oh,
confirm that she's gonna be on the calendar. All right, let me just do it. But I believe that things happen
man,
for a reason. I
that would
do.
explain like what the feeling of the last email was like. Are you still available for 4 o'clock? Please advise. And I was just like, this feels so strange, but it felt like you were wondering something. You know what I mean? Like,
I was wondering, no, and it really wasn't you. I was wondering because I had four other interviews today and none of them showed up.
oh no,
None.
I'm sorry.
And I'm big on, life happens. I get it. I have chronic migraine.
Mhm.
So if we have to reschedule, I'll send you a message. But if a person just doesn't show up, doesn't say
That's
anything, I'm like, you know what? You could have said something.
that's bad.
Um,
That's it's just communication. You just reach out. It takes
and
nothing.
it doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I am so okay. And see, my thing is an author spotlight is either a part of me just um, sharing the platform, or you really have to be one of my clients in order for me to go through this process because, like I mentioned, this is on YouTube, it's on our e-blast, it's on our blog, it's going out to the masses. We're spending money on ads to see you and your book. So it's not making us any money, it's promoting you. And
Right.
so when you don't show up and I have to, yeah, yeah. So
Well, I have a soft point for stuff like that because even when tattoo customers, I had to revamp my business a little bit because customers like for consultations or free service wouldn't show up, and I'm showing up to work. I'm like, people, it costs money for me to leave my house, and you
Yeah,
don't really want to be like that angry business person, but you're still like, okay, but we gotta do better, like you know.
and see, and I, even though we have over 2,600 people in the community, I love to be, personable, to be touchable. You don't want to be one of those people that people can't contact or can't relate to. But
Right.
I can be in the middle of mommy and me time, and you've scheduled an appointment and you just don't show up.
Yeah.
Then
No.
I have to tell, my kids, oh, I'm sorry, I can't go here with you because I'm doing this. And no, no. So
Nope.
I enjoy supporting and encouraging and promoting authors in their own eclectic ways because I was always told that I shouldn't express myself vocally through my words, both on paper and off. And so that was one of the main reasons why I started Black Authors Rock. It was because I knew what I needed.
I love it.
So, yes.
I
Any
love
parting words you want to tell the people before we jump off?
I want to one say thank you. This has been a beautiful experience. I'm glad that I didn't have to reschedule. I almost did because stuff started getting tight, and you know how you just crowd yourself out during the day. And I was like, oh my god, I need to make some space for myself. And something was like, don't do it. And I was just like, all right, fine, I won't. So I'm really happy that I didn't reschedule, not just because of the spotlight, but just for resetting the day in terms of like other people not showing up. So hopefully that's a lift
Yes,
to the
it
day.
is.
Um, but just thank you and thank you again for all the support. Like literally for not knowing someone personally and just meeting online. It's spoken volumes. And like I said, like I'm very big on like energy and how people engage and being in safe spaces. And I felt very safe from like day one. So that is huge. That is really huge. Like it was just like, no, like this is like mutual interest, not I'm just out doing this for me or I'm just out doing this for this person. It felt like a kinship, if you will. So I'm really grateful for that. Other than that, guys, go check out Shoppe Gal, get the memoir. It will have amazing stuff with it, and there's amazing stuff to come even after the limited editions are sold out. So please, please, please go get the memoir.
Yay. All
Yes.
right, you guys. The site is below. Go ahead and check her out and follow her journey because a lot of people don't understand what happens behind the closed doors actually is an opening to your journey itself. And so I thank you again, Ms. Imani, for this time. And I thank you guys for joining us. And you stay tuned to find out more from Ms. Imani as well as Black Authors Rock. If you're not a part of Black Authors Rock, please join us in the community. Black Authors Rock community on Facebook, Black Authors Rock on all other social media facets, or Dr. Tracy throughout social media. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Keep rocking.